Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, June 13th, 2026. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So, I apologize, it's been a minute since I recorded a video. If you hadn't watched my previous videos, I was in the hospital from May 15th through May 27th. Long story short, I was, I experienced some vomited on Mother's Day in the morning, first thing in the morning when I woke up. Now, for me, that's not all that unusual. I have lupus, diagnosed in May of 2019, and so didn't think much of it, but throughout the rest of the day on Mother's Day, I didn't eat, couldn't hold down any liquids, and that carried on through Monday and Tuesday. But Monday and Tuesday, I had a fever both days, so I called out from work, and it went to urgent care on Tuesday, where they thought it was a bacterial infection or viral infection. I went to work on Wednesday and Thursday. I made it through both days, but still wasn't feeling well, not able to eat, not able to hold down fluids. And so Friday, May 15th, I sent a note to my primary care physician and said, I think I need to go to the ER, just not feeling well, and told him all the symptoms that I had. I forgot to mention that Friday around midnight, I woke up and vomited again. So that was kind of like, something's definitely not right. And so went to my primary care physician. They got me an appointment first thing in the morning. I think my weight at that time was 172 pounds or something like that. So I was down from 190 down to 172 by the 15th. They tried to put IVs in both arms to give me liquids because I was very dehydrated, but they couldn't find veins, so that didn't work. But anyway, my primary care physician was a trauma surgeon up until about a year and a half ago. And he said, I think it's appendicitis. You need to go to the ER. Can you drive? Or you need an ambulance? And I was like, well, I think I could drive. I should be fine. So I went to the hospital. They had valet parking, but the parking was, valet parking was a lot further from the ER than I thought. So I had to walk through a parking garage to get to the ER and get situated. And the ER was super crowded. I think I got there at maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. I was in the ER. I got labs done, did a urinalysis. Eventually got a CT scan and a few other things. But I was really in that waiting room for quite some time. Then was brought into a bay, maybe like 6 or 7 o'clock. And then wheeled upstairs and put into a hallway where essentially I was admitted but didn't have a room. So they had a couple of us in the hallway, and we had like partitions around us, and I had to sleep in the hallway, and didn't have any control over the lights, and there was a lot of nurses coming back and forth, so rather than getting sleep. So this would have been Saturday morning. I got a room Saturday morning, and sure enough, they diagnosed me with appendicitis. And unfortunately, they couldn't have surgery right away because I've been taking blood thinners for years. And so they had to wait till that was out of my system. That took another couple of days. So was in the hospital room by this time. My parents had come and was there with me. And then Monday was the surgery. And initially, they kept saying that, this is going to be a laparotomy, just of the 3 little holes, and go in there and get it out. But it turns out it was a much more complicated surgery because my appendix burst. I'm going to circle back to that part as well. So my appendix burst. What initially was supposed to be a 1-hour surgery turned into 4 hours. Of course, I don't remember any of it. I don't even remember being wheeled into the OR. So the anesthesia must have worked well. What I do remember is waking up and feeling that feeding tube down my nose and how uncomfortable that is. So I was a little frustrated when I woke up. I remember that much, and feeling sad and dejected and a little bit hopeless. So anyway, I had a feeding tube. The first day I started to reject the feeding tube, and so they had to remove it. Now, when the feeding tube was put in, I was under anesthesia. I don't even remember that. But I do remember them taking it out and then putting a new feeding tube in while I was awake. And let me just say that is not a fun experience. I hated every second of it, but it is what it is. And so yeah, I'm laying in bed, could hardly move. Kind of fast forward a little bit, but I had 23 staples from basically underneath my rib cage down to underneath my belly button, and my appendix fully burst, and they had to cut out part of my colon and then reattach it to the small intestine. Of course, none of that information stuck with me in the hospital. I had learned that from my primary care physician just after I was discharged, and I had a follow-up. But did all that. I couldn't eat still. I was on a liquid diet for pretty much almost the entire duration of my hospital stay, which was 12 days. It was like the day before I was discharged that they switched me to a regular diet, but even then my appetite wasn't anywhere near close to what I'm accustomed to eating, and it was just very uncomfortable. Before they could discharge me, of course, I had to walk around, see if I can get up and down the hallway, and I was able to do that. And but I also had to have bowel movements, and that happened. It took a little longer than I had hoped, but everything worked out the way it was supposed to. So that was a longer hospital stay than I wanted. But then I got home on the 27th. My mom, sister were here, and mom was here for a couple more days, and then went home, and my sister stayed with me basically up until a few days ago, and cooked my meals and ran errands for me, went to doctor's appointments with me. I'm truly grateful for my family for supporting me in that way. My older brother also flew out for a day, got a chance to catch up. A few things that I'm dealing with. Of course, I'm still waiting for the bills from my hospital stay. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to come out of pocket around $2,700 there to be able to cover those costs. And if you hadn't been watching my journey, I am debt free. I intend on staying debt free. I've been the past few months, I've been building a full emergency fund. So I'm sure I'm going to have to dip into the emergency fund to be able to cover that and then replenish that amount. But I'm in a different place than I was back in 2019 when I was in the hospital for 19 days, and I was in and out of the hospital 6 times in less than 2 years. I didn't have the money, so I was taking out loans. Essentially taking out loans, charging on credit cards, and racking up more debt. So this is a little bit different. I did face trauma from this. I definitely know that much. My confidence has gone way down. And, there's still a lot of things I'm trying to work through mentally. Physically, I just started PT yesterday. I did an hour and a half, actually. And that was challenging. We did more cardio than anything because my core is just not there. And I can't even do heavy lifting yet. They said about a month and a half before I can lift over 10 pounds. So I'm, trying to take it easy there. I did go back to work this week. Monday I went in for about a half a day, but then Tuesday, Wednesday I worked from home. Thursday I did a half a day, and then Friday I did a little bit more than a half a day, but then I went to PT. Next week it's going to be a bit of a challenge because I am going to be back in the office 4 days next week, but we have a Friday off, so I'm very glad about that. I lost more weight in the hospital. I got down to 154. I weighed myself this morning. I'm at 158, so slowly trying to gain that weight back. My clothes don't fit like they used to. I could definitely see it in my face, how much weight I lost, and getting around has been a lot more difficult, but I'm just trying to persevere, and I'm grateful. Also, I forgot to mention the church I've been going to, they've come by and provided meals for the past couple weeks as well. And that's been truly helpful. The next few weeks, I'm going to get some meals delivered to be able to help me, because standing for me for like 10-15 minutes has been difficult. But like I said, I'm in PT. I'm going to do 3 sessions a week for the next 8 weeks, and hopefully I'll be feeling more like myself in the next couple of months. My doctor said this was a major surgery, and it's going to take time to get back to where I used to be and how I used to feel, and I can definitely see that. So anyway, this is a longer video than I anticipated. I'm sorry I've been gone for as long as I have, but if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You know when I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@nightinmybudget. As always, thank you for watching. You all take care.